All right, let's dive right into this explainer and tackle a massive headache we all know too well: surviving those incredibly expensive Illinois winter utility bills. If you live in the Midwest, you absolutely know the dread of opening that utility envelope or getting that billing notification on your phone when the temperatures outside drop below freezing and the wind chill really starts to bite. Today, we're looking at some fascinating insights from smart housing systems on exactly how smart thermostats can dramatically lower those costs. We're going to look at the gap between what you're currently paying and what you actually should be paying when your home is running at peak efficiency.
So to actually solve this, we've got to understand it first, right? We have to ask ourselves, why on earth do our heating systems run so much longer than they actually need to during these brutal winters? It's incredibly easy to just look out the frosted window and blame the cold outside, but the reality inside our homes is much more controllable. As we'll see, the high bills are rarely just a weather tax that you're forced to pay, they're primarily about inefficiency. We're paying a premium to heat spaces that don't need it. At times we absolutely do not need it. The lack of dynamic control is the real culprit here.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. Illinois winter challenges. 2. Heating only when occupied. 3. Smarter temperature control. 4. Real-time energy insights. And 5. Maximizing your thermostat savings. Let's get into it.
Section 1. Illinois winter heating challenges. The cost of unnecessary heating.
Okay, so the core issue here, it's not just the cold outside. It's the reality of excess furnace and boiler runtime needlessly draining your wallet. I mean, sure, no device can magically eliminate every single utility cost. You still live in a cold climate after all, but a massive chunk of what you pay for every month is just pure waste. It's your furnace churning away, burning through natural gas or electricity, and jacking up your bill when it absolutely doesn't need to be running. Think about it. Your furnace blasting hot air into the living room at 3 a.m. while everyone is fast asleep upstairs under heavy blankets. Every extra minute that burner is on is literally money flying out the window. Our primary goal today is identifying and eliminating that exact waste.
Moving on to Section 2. Heating only when occupied. Let's stop paying for empty rooms.
Now, this is where smart thermostats completely change the game. They learn your actual daily schedule. In the past, you might have programmed a rigid, static schedule into your thermostat, assuming you always left the house at exactly 8 a.m. and got back at exactly 5 p.m. But human life just doesn't work like clockwork anymore, especially with hybrid work schedules and weekend errands. These modern devices are dynamic. They use built-in motion sensors to literally see if someone walks through the hallway or the living room. They track your phone's location data to know if you've unexpectedly left for the day. And over a few weeks, they use these sophisticated learning algorithms to build a custom profile of exactly when you're home and, more importantly, when the house is totally empty.
And the result of all that data collection? Automatic, effortless savings. By automatically lowering the temperature when you're out of the house, running errands, stuck at the office, or fast asleep for the night, the device significantly reduces those wasteful heating cycles. You don't even have to remember to manually turn the dial down before you walk out the door. Seriously, the biggest actual monetary savings you're going to see on your bill come directly from this one simple automated action, turning the heat down when you aren't physically there to feel it or when you're already cozy in bed.
All right, Section 3. Smarter temperature control. We are moving way beyond just on and off. You know, there is a totally stark contrast between traditional, let's call them dumb, binary thermostats and these smart models. Think of traditional thermostats as strictly binary. It's kind of like driving a car by only flooring the gas pedal or slamming on the brakes. They hit a specific low temperature and aggressively click on, blasting heat at full capacity, then hit a high temperature and abruptly click off. That leads to these wild indoor temperature swings where you're shivering one minute and sweating the next. Plus, it forces your heating system into a constant state of overcorrecting, which burns an immense amount of energy. Smart thermostats, on the other hand, use advanced algorithms to gently pulse the heat. They maintain a much more consistent indoor temperature line and entirely bypass that costly, uncomfortable overcorrection cycle.
Which brings us to one of my favorite features, geofencing. The system uses your smartphone's location to adjust the heat based on your physical distance from the house. Picture this: you're leaving the office on a freezing Tuesday evening in January. As soon as you cross an invisible digital perimeter a few miles from your house, the thermostat senses you're on your way and gently starts bringing the temperature up from its eco-friendly away mode. So by the time you pull into the driveway and unlock the front door, the house is perfectly warm and welcoming. And the best part? You didn't pay a single dime to heat it for the 8 hours you were gone. Another absolutely incredible piece of tech here is adaptive recovery. Have you ever set your old thermostat to be 70 degrees at 7 a.m., but at exactly 7 a.m. it just starts to heat up?
so you wake up freezing while you wait for the furnace to do its job. Or worse, you set it for 6 a.m. just to be safe, completely wasting an hour of heat. Adaptive recovery totally solves this. It learns your home's unique thermal profile, literally calculating exactly how long it takes your specific furnace to raise the temperature by 1 degree in your specific house. Then, it calculates exactly when the system needs to kick on in order to reach that perfect, comfortable temperature at the precise moment you requested it. It is a total game changer for your morning routine.
Let's dive into Section 4, Real-Time Energy Insights. This is all about data-driven temperature adjustments.
Now, this is crucial for where we live, because as we all know, Illinois temperatures can swing wildly from a freezing, ice-covered morning to a surprisingly mild, sunny afternoon, sometimes literally in the exact same 24-hour period. Relying on a rigid heating schedule simply isn't efficient anymore. I mean, it's entirely possible to be scraping frost off your windshield at 7 a.m. and walking the dog in a light sweater by 3 p.m. If your thermostat treats a sunny 45-degree afternoon exactly the same way it treats a 10-degree blizzard, pumping out the same scheduled heat, you are actively losing money. The system has to be able to adapt to the reality of the weather outside.
And the good news is you no longer have to guess how much energy you're using. First, you can review these beautiful, easy-to-read energy reports sent right to your app at the end of the month. Next, you can identify your usage patterns to see which days had the highest consumption and exactly how many hours your furnace actually ran. Finally, you adjust your settings and setback temperatures based on that hard data. You can actually see which temperature changes correlate directly with bill increases. It kind of gamifies the whole experience, allowing you to fine-tune your settings dynamically as the crazy Midwest weather shifts. It completely eliminates the blind guesswork from your winter heating strategy.
Finally, Section 5. Maximizing your thermostat savings by pairing tech with practical habits. Okay, so to get the absolute most out of this smart thermostat upgrade, you must pair it with practical physical habits. Because look, as our source material bluntly notes, even the most advanced, expensive smart thermostat in the world cannot fully compensate for a poorly insulated home. Taking an afternoon to seal drafts around your exterior doors, applying some fresh weather stripping to old rattling windows, and keeping up with regular HVAC maintenance, like simply changing your furnace filter so the blower motor doesn't overwork, these are absolute non-negotiable steps. Furthermore, you need to ensure your new thermostat is actually compatible with your specific boiler or forced air setup. Think of the smart thermostat as the highly intelligent brain of your home and the house itself as the body. If you just let the warm air freely leak out through the cracks, the smart tech can only do so much to save you. They both need to work together to build a complete efficiency ecosystem. To wrap up our explainer today, it really all comes down to this. With the right setup, an understanding of your app's real-time data, and a few practical home maintenance habits, you can completely cut waste and save money without sacrificing a single degree of personal comfort. You absolutely do not have to freeze to save a buck. But, it does make you wonder, if the technology currently exists to completely optimize our environments, learn our schedules, and stop this massive financial drain, why are so many of us still settling for outdated thermostats that just click on and off in the dark? Definitely something to think about the next time you hear your furnace roar to life in an entirely empty house.